It's YouTube Wednesday! So in this video, we're actually making a human skin. This is going to hang up in one of our witch sections. So we are starting with MJ, who has worked with us in the past and on and off. And we traced MJ out on the ground with markers. And now we know the shape of the skin, and now it's buckets of latex. A lot of these are actors, or a lot of these are day crew here at Dark Hour, folks that come and just help us on different things. I knew this would be kind of a big project that a lot of people could tackle. But the concrete floor is actually very helpful. Because it's going to help cure the backside of the latex while you could see us heat gunning there. And I'm adding tabs where the skin would have been stretched, and now they're painting those in, and I'm like, yeah, do that all the way around, and they're going to add all these tabs to it so that we're able to string this guy up just like it's a drying skin. Alright, when these guys are hung, basically, they're inside of a frame. So all the skin is stretched very tight over the frame, and you're going to get all these little pull marks on the skin. So you can tell a hide that has been stretched. So they're stretching this human hide. And you can see we have, 4 to 6 people working on this guy. And it doesn't take a long time. What takes a long time is drying. So we're making sure that we can get in there, get it all painted up and dried. So we have heat guns going. The concrete floor is drying. The other side, it's sucking the moisture out of it. And we're going to need to thicken this up also. So the stage that you see now is we're putting in, it's either cotton or polyfiber. We're using polyfiber because we have it on hand. Cotton would blend in a little better. But this is going to be the side of the skin that was taken off of the body. So it's got a little bit of yuck left on it still. And so we're taking that polyfiber and just brushing it down with latex into it, and that's adding as a thickener. It's adding a strengthener, almost like rebar in concrete. That's what we're going for here. And it's just many hands kind of making light work. You don't want to put it on big thick clumps because you want to make sure you fully saturate it. And so one person is kind of breaking it up and putting it on, and then another person is painting it down. Could you do all this yourself? Absolutely. All you need is a patch of concrete floor. It doesn't have to be a human skin either. You can do animal skins this way. And then what I would do is I would just hair the other side if I wanted to do animal skins. And I might have one of those to do coming up, actually. But this was a project that we actually finished last year, and this guy has hung in the show. He was in the show all of for October season and our off-season shows this year. So this guy's already working, and I know exactly how he turns out. Sometimes it's a mystery when I'm doing this, but this is an older video that I'm going back and doing the sound on. I'm trying to catch up, I owe you guys some videos, and I'm trying to get a video out every week in June, July, August, September, October. I think that's going to be the Stiltby Studios video season. If you watch the last video of Graveyard Bust, on the right there is Kelly, who helped with the podium for that. Podium, column, whatever you call it. But you can kind of see that thick oatmeal look that this technique is giving. This is the same technique how they made Godzilla's skin in the beginning, where they took the liquid rubber and used cotton batting. Cotton batting and latex is a very common monster skin technique. We're just using it for the skin part of a human skin. And then the heat gunning. All of it has to be dried, and that, where it's in the polyfiber, if that's real thick, you got to kind of press it down, pop the pimples really, because it'll skin on the outside of it, but then still have some liquid on the inside. So that's what they're doing now. They're just pushing down with their hands and getting it, releasing all that liquid from that top layer that has dried. And as soon as that shows up, you heat gun that. I mean, and you can do this naturally over time, but I just don't want to take the time. I've got people coming in to help out, and you want to keep their hands busy. And then you can tell by the look of it now, it goes from that white color to that yellow color, so now it's very dry. And I think we're adding some strength. No, we're baby powdering right now. So we're adding baby powder because latex will stick to itself. So if you baby powder it, then it won't stick to itself because the powder keeps that from happening. Just like when you're releasing a new mask. And we're slowly peeling it up, and as we peel it up, we're powdering the other side because all of this latex is vulnerable to sticking to itself, and that's not something that we want. So, you know, we're just taking our time. We're making it kind of a process where as each new bit is exposed, it gets powdered. And we have a floppy human skin. Look at that. Now, it doesn't have the details yet, but there's more than just one stage. It's pretty accurate to a person. So this is the flat side, okay, that was against the concrete. All that this is getting is a stipple of latex to give it some texture. You don't want it to have a concrete texture. You don't want it to be perfectly flat like polished concrete. So you just stipple on some latex, no need for any cotton or anything. And just the stipple and the brush marks is going to give it enough texture like a human skin so that we're able to dry brush and get a little bit of detail out of that. It's hard to paint anything that's just super flat. Normally the more texture something has, the easier it is to paint. So over there, that is a sculpt that I did of a stretched out human face. I just sculpted it in clay. Then we painted latex layers on top of it. We didn't make a mold. It's not from a mold. It's just one sculpt. And we, so we based it in brown. You can see it was basted in brown paint. I think those guys are doing that now. And it's getting all, totally brown because that's a good solid base layer. These are my lovely helpers. And we are painting the face there. Again, no mold for that. We just sculpted it in clay, painted latex on top, 3 or 4 layers, make it nice and thick, and then we have the face. And we're going to glue those two together so that the face is apart up there. This is the back side. It's been flipped over. This is red latex house paint mixed with latex. So it goes on a little pink, but it does dry more red. And you'll see that as it dries, it gets darker. You can see that U shape that we cut the original head in is going to be what we glue around onto that other piece. Because if it's a skinned skin, it's going to have hollow eyes. It's going to have, the mouth is going to be an opening. And we're just figuring this guy out as far as how we attach. Clamps. Clamping it down to a table so that I can contact cement the face onto the body. And the way contact cement works is I'm going to put contact cement on both sides. Haha, looks like I pawned it off on a helper. Put contact cement on both sides, you let it dry, then you firmly press together once it's no longer glossy or tacky. Using a heat gun to dry the contact cement. Some people don't like to do this. I don't like to wait. So, there. And everything was sculpted with tabs in mind so that we were able to blend those together. Tells a little dip where the chin would be. That would be like a little bump. And I don't know if we blend that out or not, if we just let it be. We might just let it be. But now the back of the head needs painted. And even that paint has a little bit of latex in it, So even that, right up against that edge, is going to help seal that down, going on top of those. What's important in this is the base layers there's no dry brushing. We're painting. We want to get it down in all the nooks and crannies. So that's very important in this process, is stabbing it down in there. I'm only just now really starting to use washes quite a bit, which are very penetrating. So this is that latex and cotton mixture, and we're doing that to kind of blend in those textures, and using it as another layer of holding on the head. So then we're going to have to put this down, let this dry. When this is dry, we'll paint it red again. You'll probably see the pink coming through as that dries, because latex dries clear, and then, well, fairly clear. And then we will once again paint, and look at the fresh stuff and how pink it is, and then the other stuff is much darker red. This is the body side. This is the skin out, the outside, let's call it. And I'm working on a dry brush of the first layer of skin tone. And with dry brushing, a lot of times you get brush strokes. The way to fix brush strokes, more brush strokes. So I'm going in one direction, and then I'll go the other direction, and having all of those directions going at different times really helps, camouflage, and then your eye doesn't catch it. If I brushed only one way, dry brush, that's how you get like a brush steel look, or you definitely put a grain into it. And we don't want to do that. And I'm building up color over time. This isn't my final color look. This is the first layer. And you'll be able to see each layer of dry brush that I put on, I'm bringing up, getting it closer to the tone that I want. I still want to preserve that brown in the background. I want to make sure that, just by having the brown back there, I've got depth. I have the brown, and then I have the flesh-colored paint on top of the brown. And then when I do my next layer, I have brown, I have flesh-colored paint on top of brown, and then I have flesh-colored paint on top of flesh-colored paint and brown. So, you're getting 3 layers, 3 different colors. And here I've switched techniques. I'm going to go to a big block of foam to apply the color, which you would think it would give a more even. It's really not any more even than dry brushing, because I'm only hitting the highs. Remember all that stippling we did? That's really going to pay off here, because I'm only hitting those high stipples, and that's what's getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And I'm still keeping some depth, some texture. Whenever you're working with something big like this and it's folded over a table, don't hit that edge on the table, or else you'll see that line show up. Because where it folds over, it's really stretched out, and there is no highs right there. It's only stretched out, so it's all the same depth. Here I'm dancing because my skin is ready. I don't know why I'm dancing. Alright, so now we put this guy up on a piece of pink foam, and you can kind of see how big he's going to be all spread out. And I am hitting him with the airbrush. We're going to imply the shading that, just your body has, where there's going to be some different tones, some contrast. Obviously, the skin of your belly is whiter than the skin on your arms, because your arms see sun. And I kind of give direction, and then that was Ziggy. Ziggy is a frequent shop helper. So I do a little bit. I'm like, hey, okay, take it over. And this guy was highly anticipated because we had a previous human skin, which we've had for a couple years, and he was just falling apart. Thin latex doesn't hold up very well by itself. I'm hoping this one will be better. Added nipples for realism, like you do. This is a fringe of red ink, which is going to be very blood-like, and that way he's a little gory. You're going to have a little bit of blood on the side where it meets the skin. Spray adhesive there, a little bit of armpit hair. Boy, it's so fun to see how many people worked on this. This is, this was a while ago, so we really had a lot of hands on this. We're adding hair for accuracy. That's what we'll call this. It's all in the details, right? And then, so this body is ready to be flipped over, and now we're giving it, we use This is a big can of our roux blood that we do here to make it, give it a nice glossy blood. And we want him to look, you know, really kind of nasty. You know, he's just starting his drying process. And this is a leather punch, and I'm working on a big foam mat so that I can not dull my tool by hitting the wood.
Chris, and Chris is going to get this hung up. Okay, we'll film that process.
And here I am working on the body. All of his holes are in, and now he has to get strung up. This is MJ, who is he was the body. This is the old skin that he's taking down. Look at how tired that sucker is. It's got a lot of rips in it. It's just, put the lotion in the basket, MJ. There you go. I had no idea he did that little dance. And this is the new skin going up into the frame. This is exciting. That's Chris right there. He is he probably asks me every week to make a new skin for this. If you have a haunt and you have people who work with you, you need advocates, you know, and I needed a skinning advocate. And you know, I'm very busy and different things pull at my time, and Chris was very good to consistently say, hey, you need a new skin. You need a new skin. This area needs to know you love it. You need a new skin. And I don't know. I just think it's important that your people advocate for the things that are important to them. And if they don't ever advocate for anything, you don't know what's important to them. And maybe, I'm not saying that they don't care enough, but it sure is nice to have folks who care. Show you they care by saying, hey, let's work on this. Let's fix this. I think as a owner and director, you have a lot of things pulling on your time, and you really have to be careful of how you spend your time. Chris is figuring out the lacing system of how from tab to pole. I mean, if you look at how indigenous people would hang skins in order to stretch them and make them into a real natural leather material. That's kind of some of the research that Chris had to do. And look at that, it's a skin! Yeah, so this is the skin. It's up, it's ready to go. It's ready for thousands of visitors to walk by. We had thousands last year, and we will have more this year who will see this stretched skin from both sides. And here it is, inset with the snow.
Go make stuff!